Ohio State brings in a new defensive coordinator in Jim Knowles, coming from Oklahoma State. Previous to that, he was at Duke. What's going to make this guy the guy? Will it be a scheme, philosophy, or what? Coming from those two type of programs.
Scheme and mentality. So he's had success everywhere he's gone. And the thing about Jim Knowles is that it doesn't matter. You could Oklahoma State does not have the same talent as the University of Oklahoma has. But those guys run through a wall for him. They play physical, they play an aggressive style defense, and he does a good job of using what he has and putting him in the right, position to succeed and play fast. This is the most talented team he's ever worked with. There's depth. He's a guy who is, they call him an evil genius. And so Ohio State, I think the thing that excites me, briefly, is that usually defensively, at least from what I've seen, we're usually reacting, to what the offense does. This guy is the guy who is going to dictate what the offense does by having his guys play super aggressive, super physical. He's going to be aggressive in the scheme, but he also has, just in case something does not work, there's a plan in place to say, okay, and part of the scheme, okay, bam, we screw up here. This is how we adjust. So it's quick adjustments. You don't have to wait till the next game. You don't have to wait till the next season. And I think, the athletes are going to be able to showcase their skills more so than they have since 2019 with Jeff Halfley.
So let me ask you this: what's the difference between this scheme and the previous scheme? And as I know you said mentality, so I get that part. But schematically, what's the difference?
So
With them?
they're running a true 4-2-5. And so essentially, but that it's usually four. Well, how Jim Knowles does it is it's a three down lineman, and then he has what he calls the Leo position. And the Leo position is the guy that is a hybrid, kind of a hybrid linebacker, and he causes confusion. He goes into different gaps to make you change your blocking scheme. And so he moves everywhere. He can drop back into coverage, he can rush off the edge, they put him in the middle. He's a guy, Cade Stover is a guy they're thinking about. Jack Sawyer, who you've broken down his tape. He's a
Yes,
candidate for it. A guy like that, so you can have just a guy, a tough guy, a guy that can do a lot of things. And then with Ohio State, you're talking about a super athletic guy. One of the biggest things that's a difference is it is a big time safety driven defense. So you're going to have three safeties on the field. You're going to have a nickel, and then they have a bandit. And I forgot the field safety. But pretty much you don't want big plays, and that nickel safety, he can do just about anything. Ohio State's previous scheme, they call it the bullet. But one of those safeties can come down and support the run. Then you have a center fielder who just erases everything. And then you have that slot corner sort of safety who can do different things. He can blitz off the edge, and he can cover, the slot, and he can do things out in space. So that's one of the big differences that you'll see.
gotcha. All right, last question about Ohio State before we move this thing on. Offensively, we know Ryan Day is made the play caller, right? On game day and that type of thing. They're loaded when it comes to wide receivers. Um, just real quick, what is the quarterback situation there? Knowing that Quinn Ewer is left out, and you got a couple of guys that could have been picked up, just for the fans so they know.
Well, next year is we're good because CJ Stroud is coming back. If God forbid anything happens, I don't see why this will not be his last year. Obviously, he's a Heisman favorite, and you saw how he competed, especially towards the end of last season. Expect a big year out of him, and Ohio State has already said they're going to put more responsibility on him. Right now, you're looking at Kyle McCord and Devin Brown, the freshman out of California. They'll be vying for the backup spot. I give the edge to McCord just due to experience. And then when CJ leaves, you'll see Kyle McCord, Devin Brown, and then they're battling right now for some quarterbacks and recruiting some high-end quarterbacks. They have their hat in the ring as well. So as long as Ryan Day is still at the helm, quarterback isn't an issue when it comes to Ohio State football.